If it's a good day, let's take a selfie. It's a bad day, let's take a selfie. If it's just a bloody day, let's take a selfie. People make those pouts and and all. So I find that very funny. Tishu has such a poker face the way he does everything. I try karu Salman. He said, "Haan, tu kar." And a couple of guys just stood just in case we lost balance, but he didn't. Wow. He's quite strong, so he just held me like this. Hi everybody, this is Shah Rukh Khan and you're watching me on Bombay Times Online.
So what was the most difficult part for you while shooting for Bawa, the character? And why did you choose this challenging role?
Well, I don't think it's challenging, Samina. It's you have to be a medium to the director or the storyteller. And within that, if you feel happy achieving something new as an actor for yourself, given the parameters of Indian commercial cinema, I think that itself is the job that you do. I think that's the job you do. That can't be a challenge. Of course, you may not do it as well as you want to or people expect of you, but that's the job you do, that you're called upon to expose or exploit some of the emotions you've known along your life as a different person. So that's one. It's not a challenge. Yeah, but the problems that we had, or not the problems, the timing, because the film does take the same scenes that would normally take one take like this, would take about 5 takes like this, and to recreate every time the same emotion. So if you're in a scene which is whether comic or whether it's emotional or even a dance, sometimes it's very odd that you're dancing with 100 people and then suddenly you're dancing alone and then 100 people are dancing differently and they have to look at the same place. So technically it was a little, to say, it was a little different than what you've done before. And then also the issue that what you do today will look quite different once the structure is changed, The backgrounds are changed and suddenly you're up with 100 dancers and you're getting overlapped in a different way. Instead of getting overlapped behind somebody's shoulder, it's somebody's waist or, you're in a different world. So it does make you perform today imagining the result 3 months later when the structure changes.
When you were shooting for Isak Bazi, there was a scene where you actually jump onto his body and, you're shooting that scene. How difficult was that particular scene? Because, you had to like...
Yeah, it's difficult actually because Salman's standing on something which is about 2 feet higher, which means I also have to jump not just 1 feet, I have jumped 3 feet to reach his waist. And because it's just a small square, about 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot, it's a recreation of the ground supposedly, which is how it would be for me. So we had thought of, hooking him onto wires or something because I am full of 70 kgs. I'll come with force because I'll have to take a big leap and he could lose balance. So we were wary of making him do it. One, because, he's come as a guest appearance and abhi wo tar lagayenge. It takes a little long. But he was sweet. I said, try karu Salman. He said, "Haan, tu kar." And a couple of guys just stood just in case we lost balance, but he didn't. He's quite strong. So he just held me like this. So actually this wasn't in the sequence. I told answer, "Aisa karta hu, sir." He said, "Bahut sweet lagega, sir, ho jaye." And then the VFX said, the one thing you have to do is do the actual leap. The rest of it we'll take care of. And then you had to do a lot of body scanning of Salman, for the parts that covered, which very sweetly at 6 in the morning we did that. So maybe only possible with Salman. With somebody else you would have to wire up and things like that.
Also, like, you already have a backache issue and then, you're folding your legs and then, getting into that character that you have it's very difficult to do that role itself. What kept you inspiring to do such a role and, go through underwater sequences and all that?
In this film, we didn't have to fold our legs. That's one thing we didn't have to. We created tunnels in which my legs are shot separately while the other characters are standing on normal ground, while I'm little underground, 1.5 foot down. It does require, the only thing it takes is patience, a lot of patience, because yes, for some action sequences it takes twice the time again. So if I've done a scene where I'm hitting someone or there is an action sequence of a chase, so if I've done it with people, then you want to drive a scooter which is of different height and length, you have to practice a bit. But I think the VFX at Red Chillies with Harry at the helm, I think they really helped us out and made it as simple as possible, but it's still not a very simple film to shoot.
How was it shooting at NASA for this movie?
We didn't shoot at NASA. We shot in a place which is an offshoot of NASA called Huntsville. It's very interesting. It's huge and it's got a lot of scientific stuff. So I think the first couple of days, because of my interest in science, it was great. And I took my son along and we got to learn a lot about all spacecrafts and landing on moons and everything and all. So very interesting. They were very nice, very forthcoming. We could have shot at NASA, but I think they were shooting some other film, so we didn't get permission. But overall, we shot there and then turned it around to how it would suit our film.
If something you have to take away with you from the character Bawa, what would that be?
I think it'll just be his gusto for life and the fact that nothing can keep him down for too long. And you may seem to think that he's an obtrusive, rude person, bordering on rude. But deep down inside, he's just a guy who wants to live the life the way he deems fit. And I think which is the trait that most of us want from our life.
The most, equation what we enjoyed in the movie is your equation with Tigmanshu Dhulia, the kind of dialogues and all what you have between. So how was it shooting with him and him as the father and the dialogues he say, biryani kha lo, ye kar lo and all?
Yeah, Tishu is an old friend. We worked together in Dil Se when he was chief assistant to Mani Ratnam sir, and we've known each other. We are kind of Delhi boys, me, Shah, then Tishu. We've known each other from, like ours is a friendship, kind of when we just started being in Mumbai. We were outsiders. So I was quite amazed because I've never seen Tishu act. So when he came as the father, I told Anand sir also didn't know. I said, Tishu, mera bahut purana dost hai sir. And then the lines are very funny. The relationship is very funny between the father and son. And though it comes only, in few bits and pieces in the film, but whenever it does, there's some strange, you'll always get a laughter. It's an inherent thing. Sometimes father and son always have a little unsaid attrition. And I think, and Tishu has such a poker face the way he does everything. So it was quite funny and great fun.
We see Bawa taking a lot of quirky selfies while, in the movie. From whom did you take inspiration for that?
To me, it's
pout and all that.
I see everyone do it. So it's my comment on how people have become. If it's a good day, let's take a selfie. It's a bad day, let's take a selfie. If it's just a bloody day, let's take a selfie. So I find everybody taking selfies. So I find that very strange. And Himanshu had written it in one scene. कि वो अपना फ़ोन निकाल के जल्दी से सेल्फी लेता है सुबह की और एक and I've added it a lot more places in the film because it's a comment on how people have become now and it's a funny comment that कुछ भी करता है वो अपना ऐसा people make those pouts and अपना आँख ऐसा करके तो नीचे से and all. So I find that very funny. So I thought I'll include it. It fitted the character.
You have done a lot of commercial cinema, but would you like to try a hand on offbeat movies also?
No, I don't have any inclination like that कि मैं अब offbeat picture करता हूँ award जीतने के लिए ना. I do the film that I'm too in this business to be thinking about this type, that type. If you offer me a Dear Zindagi, I'll do it. You offer me a Paheli, I'll do it. You offer me an Asoka, I'll make it. You offer me a Fan, I'll continue to do it. You offer me Swades. I think they're all non-commercial films, but I do them. But ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि मैं एक artistic picture कर लूँ जिसके अंदर मुझे award मिल जाए और फिर लोग जो है encourage हों. I do a film. I don't think there's an artistic and a commercial film. I think a film is a film. You can take art to commerce or you can bring commerce. You can add a lot of art into commerce.